tonight. Internal tensions at Prince Albert's police service spill over to social media, sparking response from the province's police federation. Also, the RCMP mark 150 years of service, but some municipalities are questioning the value of keeping the force. Plus, cancer took her leg, but that isn't stopping one woman from breaking barriers on the World Para-Hockey stage.
I'm also nervous, but it still feels very unreal to me.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Tuesday, May 23rd, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Sam is away tonight. There's a chance of rainfall in northern Saskatchewan today and tomorrow, but it may not be enough to dampen wildfires burning in that region. The province says there's over 20 wildfires ongoing this evening, 5 of which are not contained. There have been significantly more wildfires reported this year compared to this time in years past, mainly because of the dry conditions. But the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says rain in parts of northern and central Saskatchewan should help the situation.
Temperatures will drop. Where we receive precipitation, lower temperatures, and higher humidities, we will be able to make much more significant headway on some of these fires, secure portions of them. And once we are able to secure those fires and slow their growth, we'll also reduce smoke emissions, which of course will benefit our evacuees.
Special air quality statements are still in effect for parts of northern Saskatchewan tonight because of the wildfire smoke. The war of words is continuing between the Prince Albert Police Service and the group representing officers. Internal tensions have now gone public on social media. Jason Warwick has more.
Prince Albert Police Chief Jonathan Bergen announced last week he was leaving the force. In his farewell press conference, he alleged harassment from some members of the force.
Aggressive personal attack and contrived character assassination.
He cited examples, including defamatory flyers distributed around the city. Bergen's retirement comes on the heels of a damning report showing his officers' inaction may have led to the death of infant Tanner Brass. It also comes following 2 non-confidence votes against Bergen by PA police officers. This weekend, on all its social media accounts, the police service posted a message. It said that due to ongoing and persistent harassment of our chief of police by members within and outside our organization, a video thanking Chief Bergen for his service has been removed. A Prince Albert Police Service communications official called the harassment cowardly. CBC News asked the Prince Albert Police Service to elaborate on this alleged harassment and to supply examples that led to the removal of the social media post, but no one was available Tuesday. But those allegations provoked a strong response from the group representing officers across the province. I don't know who's running PA Police Service media, but enough. It accused PA police administrators of trying to divide the force.
It's like they're just trying to blame this all on the officers that are still working there. And, the chief was resigned, and basically my thing was, enough's enough. Like, it's time to move on. There's going to be a new chief coming in. We have to work together. So why keep on throwing out, trying to cause that divide between management and the officers?
Police Federation President Casey Ward says most officers are looking forward to welcoming a new chief and concentrating on serving their community.
Everyone up there is very, very happy and excited that, there'll be some new leadership and that they can just go to work and do their job.
But there could be more difficult days ahead for the PA Police Service. Indigenous leaders are calling for criminal charges against any officers involved in baby Tanner's death, and the provincial government has acknowledged it has commissioned another report on the PA Police Service. It plans to release that in the coming weeks. Jason Warwick, CBC News, Saskatoon.
It was a drive-by shooting that left a father of 2 dead on a Regina street 3 years ago. The shooter, 28-year-old Devin Sear, was convicted of manslaughter, and today a Court of King's Bench judge heard arguments for how long he should spend in prison. Jesse Anton reports.
The Crown wants 28-year-old Devin Sear to serve a life sentence for manslaughter, calling the drive-by shooting death of Isaiah Allery a near murder and something that deserves significant time behind bars.
What we were trying to convey is essentially the sentence that Mr. Cyr deserves in the circumstances is as close to what he would have received for murder as legal. So in this case, manslaughter carries a maximum of life. The Crown sought life in this case.
Throughout the trial, court heard from witnesses who say Cyr shot Allery 3 years ago, either because Allery owed him money or made fun of his face. Cyr was shot in the face nearly a decade ago, leaving his nose and upper lip disfigured.
Neither one of those would warrant any kind of follow-up that would result in the death of a human being.
During sentencing submissions, GLADU factors were discussed, including Cyr's fetal alcohol syndrome diagnosis and his childhood trauma, which included time in foster care. The defense leaned on those conditions, but mostly focused on Cyr's condition the night he shot Allery. He was drunk and high, so the defense says he deserves a manslaughter sentence between 4 and 12 years, as is typically attached to those circumstances. In her victim impact statement, Allery's sister said Cyr left Allery's kids without a father, her mother without a son, and her without a brother and best friend. The sister went on to say she can't find it in her heart right now to forgive Cyr for killing Allery. Cyr also shared a few words in court. He apologized to the Allery family, saying he knows there's nothing he can say or do that could make things right. Cyr is set to appear in court next for sentencing in July. Jesse Anton, CBC News, Regina.
A Saskatoon judge says accused killer Greg Fertuck will get to re-examine 2 witnesses. It's the latest twist in a trial that started 18 months ago. Fertuck is accused of killing his wife Sherry in December of 2015. Her body has never been found. The trial has faced multiple delays, the latest after Fertuck fired his legal team. Fertuck is now representing himself. He had applied to re-examine his former partner and a Crown firearms expert. Canada does not need a public inquiry. Public hearings will do. That's the recommendation today after a 2-month review of how China might be interfering in this country's elections. The lead investigator says the opposition leaders can review his full report, including the classified parts, if they get top secret clearance. But that offer is not stopping calls for a full inquiry. Rafi Boudjikanian has more.
On the key question of whether there should be a public inquiry into foreign interference, David Johnston said no, knowing that would raise eyebrows.
When I began this process, I thought I would come to the same conclusion. It would have been an easy choice. It would not be the correct one.
He says that's because much of the intel he studied to draw up his report is classified top secret. Johnston was asked to look into foreign interference after multiple media reports alleged meddling by Beijing to favor a minority Liberal government in the last 2 Canadian elections, sinking Conservative candidates, largely based on leaked security agency documents and unnamed sources.
I don't think there was any conscious desire to suppress and to diminish this. I think it was clear that we have not acted as quickly and as thoroughly as we have as a threat that has been growing.
Johnston noted he interviewed CSIS officials and top civil servants, saying he saw no evidence of a plan by the Chinese government. On another allegation, Conservative MP Michael Chong had his Hong Kong-based family targeted by a Chinese diplomat 2 years ago. Johnston found the intelligence was not shared with cabinet by national security agencies, part of a larger problem, he says.
I have identified serious shortcomings in the way intelligence is communicated and processed from security agencies through to government.
Johnston says opposition parties should get top secret clearance to look at the classified part of his report to see if they agree with his findings, something the Conservatives are already shooting down.
We're not going to allow the government to silence leaders of the opposition by swearing them to secrecy on this matter of grave public importance.
I don't think Canadians would want or expect any of their leaders to choose ignorance when they can choose to have the facts laid out for them.
Johnston does intend to hold some public hearings and write a second report by October, but none of the opposition parties say they're happy with anything but a full inquiry, suggesting pressure will just keep mounting in the months ahead. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Ottawa.
There's no need to be concerned, folks. This limping goose is doing just fine. That's the official word from Salthaven Wildlife Rehabilitation. The rescue group says it's been getting a lot of phone calls from people who are concerned about this goose in the Olive Garden parking lot at Regina's Harbour Landing neighborhood. Turns out the goose has a permanent limp from an old injury. He can still fly and he does not need medical care. He is standing guard while his mate takes care of a nearby nest. Will he get a soaking from the rain, though? I'll have your forecast after the break.
This weather update is brought to you by Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, proud member of the Capital Automotive Group.
Welcome back. A sunny evening in Saskatoon this evening, sitting at a nice 20 degrees. And we saw some wildfire smoke in Saskatoon this weekend, and in fact through a lot of the province. And we still do have air quality advisories in place right now as we take a look at our watch warning map, mostly confined to northern Saskatchewan. And that cold front has moved most of the smoke out of southern and central portions, but looks like we could see a few plumes again over the next couple of days here in the south as winds going to be shifting a little bit. Again, the densest of the smoke likely going to be in northern and western sections of the province, and of course where those fires are really in the north. Cold front moving through has really caused a sharp temperature divide in the province, sitting at 24 right now in Regina, but in some central portions of the province, as you'll see here, barely getting into the double digits, just sitting at 8 degrees right now in Hudson Bay. And we are starting to see a little bit of shower activity on radar as well in some east central sections of the province. Some non-severe cells popping up as well along south central and southwestern portions. But our weather really going to get interesting over this next 24 to 48 hours here. This big stagnant area of low pressure bringing heavy rain through northern BC and Alberta, helping the forest fire situation there. Likely going to be helping the forest fire situation in our province as well if we can get some rain into northwestern sections. And it looks like starting tomorrow afternoon, we'll be seeing some heavy rain at times kind of southwest to northeast through the province, central Saskatchewan especially, including Saskatoon, depending on where the showers kind of pop up due to convection or kind of pop up thunderstorms or some heavier pockets of rain. We could get some significant amounts through the day and through the night tomorrow. Regina and eastern regions, we will likely see a little bit of rain come tomorrow night, but the majority of it falling in central and western sections. And as a result of more moisture in the air and that low pressure system and its frontal boundaries moving through, there is a higher risk of some severe weather in south central and southwestern portions tomorrow. Large hail, strong winds, heavy rain, and can't rule out the risk of a tornado as well tomorrow, so a good day to stay weather aware. Through the day tomorrow, keep in mind these rainfall amounts could be just based off of thunderstorms or heavier pockets, but there is a general range of 10 to 20 millimeters from Maple Creek northeast towards Saskatoon and then northeast through La Ronge, where we could see a good amount of rain in that area. Most rain we've seen in a while in that part of the province. Winds likely going to be picking up. These are likely undershot a bit. We could see some gusts to 60 tomorrow in portions of south and central, including both Regina and Saskatoon, as you'll see in our 7-day forecast here. But the temperatures in southern Saskatchewan staying quite warm, including in Regina. Very warm overnight lows these next couple of nights. And for Regina and the south, still soggy over the next few days, still a bit unsettled before by the end of the weekend it looks like we do get some clearing and some nicer conditions as well. Saskatoon, again, some heavier rain possible over the next couple of days or so here before that moves out and temperatures increasing. And again, you are likely going to be seeing that very strong wind as well as we head through tomorrow too. Normal for this time of year, about 20 degrees, so you'll be getting well over that over these next few days.
It's absolutely incredible.
Well, Ferrari fans are racing to Denmark to test drive the latest Lego creation. The wheels are real, but the rest is crafted with Lego blocks. It took designers a year to build, and it'll now be on permanent display at Denmark's Lego Museum, a popular tourist attraction since the toy was invented by a Danish carpenter more than 90 years ago. Stay with us. We're back after the break. Today marks 150 years since Canada's iconic Mounties were first formed as the Northwest Mounted Police. But after decades of scandals and tragedy, some municipalities are questioning the value of keeping the RCMP. Catherine Tunney explains.
It's the Mounties who patrol the streets of Surrey, BC. For now.
I do believe it's time to have a second look.
This man was brought in to replace the RCMP, building the new Surrey Police Service from the ground up. His pitch? A new force that will be more accountable than the Mounties. While political infighting has put the plan on hold in Surrey, he says more and more regions are reaching out.
The question is, can an organization do everything? Can they do federal policing, national security, and then do boots on the ground policing?
The question was front and center after the Nova Scotia mass shooting in 2020, where systemic failures within the RCMP were laid bare. This year, an inquiry into the tragedy called for a review of the RCMP's role in local policing.
I think those discussions are healthy. I think we as an organization need to learn from and evolve as a result of those discussions to make ourselves better.
While those discussions are playing out across the country, the top Mountie in BC argues the RCMP's model is what makes it an asset.
The knowledge, skills, and expertise that we are able to bring to any one public safety issue, whether small in a rural area or internationally, I think that's something that we shouldn't shy away from, but that we should celebrate.
But the ability to deliver on its mandate isn't the only reason why some are questioning the force. The force has been plagued by a sexual assault scandal, called out for systemic racism, and most recently, the mass shooting in Nova Scotia exposed fundamental flaws with the RCMP. It has some observers wondering if the force is even capable of change.
The glory of the red surge is long gone. It's long gone.
Change management was Eli Sopo's job at the RCMP, but he saw little willingness for it. He says the stakes are too high to ignore the conversation.
I guarantee you, you will have another major disaster, severe injuries, death, and complete chaos because of poor communications, poor issues management, poor leadership and structures.
While the decision about the Surrey Police Service rests with City Hall, the federal government says it will support communities that decide to replace the Mounties, which could fundamentally change the iconic Canadian symbol for decades to come. Catherine Tunney, CBC News, Surrey, BC.
The federal government is hoping to address what's expected to be another busy summer in the skies. Today, it spelled out changes to try to deal with long lines at Canada's largest airports. The plan is to get some airline passengers through security faster by making adjustments to the Verified Traveller program. But as Sam Sampson shows us, some say it may not speed things up in time for the summer crowds.
Airport agony was all the drama last year. Lost luggage, delayed and cancelled flights. Ottawa doesn't want a season 2.
I know a lot of people have now lost confidence or are suspecting or questioning the ability, being skeptical about the ability of the institutions to service them.
Ottawa says part of the solution, a new Verified Traveller program, an attempt to streamline airport security check-ins. Starting in June, 6 airports will have new dedicated security lines for these program members getting on domestic and international flights.
The whole idea is to speed things along when you're in security. So for example, if you're one of these verified travelers, you won't have to take off your jacket, you won't have to take one of these out of your bags. That way, the line moves quickly and more people get through security faster.
Military members, police, airline, and airport staff are eligible. Regular Canadians can join through Nexus, a system that already speeds up customs to and from the United States. Right now, 1.7 million people have a Nexus card, though there is a backlog and a $50 US fee for people applying to the program.
The processes and procedures that Canadians have had to endure are outdated, outmoded. Launching a program that allows trusted travelers who they already know, travelers whose data they already have, to benefit from expedited screening is a long time coming.
This year, with almost all COVID-19 rules gone, airports are expecting another massive wave of passengers.
I think it will contribute to enhanced efficiency at the airport. Will it solve all the problems, the staffing problems? No, though they have to be addressed separately, independently.
A number of airports say their staff is back to pre-pandemic levels and swear last summer won't be repeated. Sam Sampson, CBC News, Toronto.
A warm night tonight in Regina, seeing some cloud cover build in and pretty gusty still. Those southeast winds up to around 50 kilometers an hour or so. Look for a little bit of cloud cover to build in tomorrow. Breezy still. Winds from the southeast could be upwards of 60 kilometers an hour by the time we get to the afternoon. Actually not too bad temperature-wise. There is a chance we could see some showers, but again, all depends on where that system going to be landing. Saskatoon, though, I think it's pretty much a good bet that you're going to be seeing showers tonight and through the day tomorrow. Keep in mind thunderstorms also possible. Some heavy pockets of rain, and things could turn severe heading toward the afternoon. We are looking for large hail and gusty winds, maybe even an isolated tornado or two in portions of south central and southwestern Saskatchewan, so we will keep an eye out for that. And finally, Moose Jaw is getting ready to host the World Para Hockey Championships later this month, and a woman from Quebec is getting ready to play for Team Canada. Raphael Tousignan lost a leg to cancer a decade ago, and now she's the first female to play with the Canadian men's para hockey team in an international competition.
My first goal is not to inspire people, it's more to just achieve my goals, live my dream, and open doors to other women. My name is Raphael Tousignan. I will represent Team Canada at the World Championship. When I found out that I will be the first woman to attempt the World Championship with Team Canada, I feel very proud of myself. I'm also nervous, but it still feels very unreal to me.
Everybody was super excited. It's a good step forward in the sport to see that a female athlete is at the World Championship level.
Playing with the boys is it's cool. I really like to. I'm very a physical player. So that part of the game really, I'm very excited when I go on the ice and I can hit people.
Raphael always puts in the second effort. She goes in the corner, she likes to hit.
The impact of this in the future will be I hopefully will be incredible. I am aware that I am a role model, potentially a role model for many little girls and women around Canada and probably around the world too. I am very proud and I'm very honored to have this role, but it also comes with a pressure.
Now she has to take care of this place because many girls want the place now, so she's going to continue to work a lot to stay at this level.
The message I will send to any little girls, women around Canada and around the world is to never give up on your dreams. A lot of people in the last couple of years didn't believe that I will be able to achieve that, but at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself and you truly work hard and you know that you can achieve it, no one can stop you because you're just going to prove them wrong.
Very inspiring. That is it for us tonight. For News Anytime, you can head to our website or subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel. I'll be back with more local news and weather at 11. Up next, Game 3 between Dallas and Vegas in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.